My name's Helen Jenkins and I am a presbyter working as part of a team at the City of Edinburgh Methodist Church. We're a city centre church in the middle of Edinburgh, and we have a really exciting space. We tend to worship in the round, but it also means that the building can be used for all sorts of different things. And in the summer we're a venue for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. So we have thousands of people through the doors coming in for all sorts of reasons. How do we engage with all these people who we can interact with? I think is one of the real challenges, but also opportunities that we have. Things I find exciting about ministry, I find the variety exciting. The fact that no 2 days, no 2 weeks are the same. I love the privilege of leading worship and kind of encountering people in that space and helping them to encounter God. It's also a huge privilege that I get to walk alongside people at some of the joyous and challenging times in life. My focus actually, a lot of it's been with the behind the scenes things. It's been about caring for our staff and supporting them in what they do, and also thinking about some of the strategy as to how we go forward, and then trying to relate that to the context of the church gathered for worship and how the different parts of our life relate to each other. My calling to ministry was very much a journey. I can't point to any one moment where there was kind of like a flashing light in the sky and saying, go and be a minister. I grew up in a Methodist church and was very fortunate to come through a very strong youth group. A friend and I used to joke that we were called not to preach. I studied human genetics, and then after I did my first degree, I moved to Scotland to do a PhD. And it was while I was doing my PhD, I sensed the call to ministry. One moment that I particularly remember was sitting in an ordination service and a sense of, actually it was supposed to be me up the front, that ordination was where I was heading for. I wasn't a local preacher at that point, so the first thing I did was to kind of test that call as a local preacher, half hoping that the circuit would say, nah, you're rubbish at this, go away. Actually almost being surprised when the church said yes in the end. For me, in some ways, the calling only kind of fell into place as I actually came out into circuit and was doing the job. The first time I ever went on my own to do a pastoral visit, fairly early on in my time in circuit, I turned up unannounced and knocked on the door. And was overwhelmed really with how enthusiastic the welcome was that I received. This wasn't just important because Helen had come to visit, it was important because the minister had come to visit and what that said about how that person was valued. For me, that was another part of kind of the whole thing clicking into place and going, oh, so that's what it's about. To use the power we have. As a parent of young children, clearly it is possible to combine parenthood and a calling to ministry. So at the moment I work part-time in ministry because my vocation as a mother is as important as my vocation as a minister. That's enabled by working with colleagues. So there's always somebody available, it's just not always me. But I know other people for whom that pattern doesn't work and they work full-time but manage to protect their time with their children in other ways. So I would certainly say don't be put off. For anyone thinking about going into ministry, I would encourage you very much to explore with other people, to have people that you can trust, to talk things through, to pray with, and to support you through that journey. But also know that when God calls, God equips. So the things that at this point that look incredibly daunting may still be daunting when you come to have to do them, but you will do them with God alongside you.